We're here for one of our 2 shows in Western Maine. I'm sitting here with Jeff Orwick. He's the curator of the Bahre collection.
Bob Bahre's collection covers more than a century of unique, one-of-a-kind cars. Normally it's open to the public only once a year. Cruisin New England has gone inside this fabulous collection for 2 special episodes. In the second episode, we'll tour more of the collection and see the one-of-a-kind Brewster Buick, travel the back roads of Maine, and find out why a gas station doesn't pump gas.
You know, Jim, the big question is, do people actually stop here and try to get gas?
The answer is yes.
Ranked in the top 10 nationally and going for number 1.
McMulkin Chevrolet is one of the largest dealers of new and pre-owned Corvettes in the country, with over 50 Corvettes, including the ZR1 in stock and ready for immediate delivery. In the pursuit of your sports car, make it the true American sports car, the Corvette. Or maybe it's the brand new 2010 Camaro. If it's new, pre-owned, or hard to find, McMulkin Chevrolet is your dealer.
Call today and experience why. McMulkin Chevrolet.
The Thompson Auto Group.
Hi, I'm Jim Grundy, president of Grundy Worldwide Collector Car Insurance. We've been in the business of insuring collector cars since 1947, and we've learned that what collectors need is agreed value coverage at incredibly low rates. So for a legendary service, superior coverage, all at a substantial savings, call Grundy Worldwide or visit us online.
Intercity Lines Incorporated, America's premier enclosed auto transporter, providing enclosed transport throughout the United States. Call 800-221-3936 or visit us on the web.
Cruisin New England magazine. Plan your cruise and car show season. Subscribe today at cruisinNewEngland.com or call 508-428-8055.
Imperial Worldwide insulation vinyl siding, copper and seamless aluminum gutters, closet-made shelving systems, and zero-clearance fireplaces. We strive to make the building process easy and fun.
Garage Storage Cabinets of Northern New England offers premier services in custom storage, organizer, and flooring systems for residential and light commercial spaces, specializing in garages, basements, and workrooms. If you are a discriminating person who views your garage or workspace as an extension of your home, you will be absolutely delighted with our products and individualized services. We are a New England family-owned and operated business, so take the next step. To schedule your in-home consultation and pricing, call us today. We're in the hills of Western Maine to see the Bahre collection. Bob Bahre is a businessman who became a part of racing history in New England as owner of the Oxford Plains Speedway in Maine and then the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. He has also been honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award from NASCAR.
I went down there to the meeting and I didn't expect it. And my God, when they called my name out, I damn near died and didn't know what to say. But I got up there and stumbled through it somehow. And I was very happy, but, you know, we get a lot of the credit. My son and I built the thing together, but, you know, the fans are what made it. The fans were behind us. They came, and drivers, and, you know, you could have a racetrack, but if you didn't have fans, you had nothing.
Bob's success enabled him to put together a world-famous car collection. Jeff Orwick is the curator and oversees the fleet of over 73 vehicles, one of which is this 1938 supercharged 8-cylinder Alfa Romeo.
This particular car was bodied by Touring of Milan, Italy, and it was made of their Superleggera construction. Thin wall steel tube covered with aluminum, no wooden structure, so the car is extremely lightweight. This particular design has very unique flush-fitting taillights on the rear deck lid. The spats are very distinctive and part of the touring coach building design. This car is very narrow, it's very low, it's very aerodynamic for 1938, and it's powered by a supercharged 8-cylinder engine, which is an awful lot of power plant for a tiny little car. And this was the fastest production car in the world in 1938. Let me show you the engine. This is, again, an 8-cylinder engine with a monstrous supercharger. It's almost double supercharged, You've got a set of paddles on either side. This half takes care of the rear four, this half takes care of the front four cylinders. And again, you have force-fed air and force-fed fuel, giving an already very powerful engine in a lightweight car even more punch.
This Delahaye Roadster was built in post-World War II France.
So here we have a very sporty car of the 1940s, a 1947 Delahaye.
Yes, and it is a wonderful 135M Delahaye chassis, which was a pretty successful road rally chassis. It is a 6-cylinder overhead valve engine with 3 carburetors, so it's got an awful lot of spunk and independent suspension. And the 135M Delahaye has a Cotal electric transmission, which gives me 4 speeds here on a little H pattern. Electric clutch, so that when you shift it, it does the clutch for you automatically, and on the floor is a lever. If you push it forward, it means forward, in the middle is neutral, and backwards is reverse, meaning we could drive this car 4 speeds backwards if we chose to.
Now this is even equipped with something behind the seat.
Behind the front seat are 3 compartments. One contains a bar, place for a bottle, 2 cups. In the middle is a makeup set, which you could put different kinds of makeup and perfume, and there's a handheld mirror in there. And on the far side is an original first aid kit that came with the car, and it's still intact.
When we return, we'll look at 2 extraordinary Mercedes from the Bahre collection.
Now what?
There's only one place to go, Modern Auto Body. We'll estimate the damage and assist with the insurance paperwork. Your vehicle's frame is laser checked to ensure exact alignment. Repairs are performed by iCar and ASC certified technicians using OEM parts. A computerized system analyzes existing paint color and formulates an exact match. Modern's temperature-controlled bake booth then hardens the finish. Upon completion, your vehicle will be in perfect pre-accident condition.
Cruisin New England Productions advertising and sponsorship opportunities. Cruisin New England magazine has been updating auto enthusiasts with event information and special features for over 15 years. Cruisin New England, the Fun Car Show series, includes the Elite Dream Machines at Mohegan Sun, the All Wheels Nationals on Cape Cod, the Super Wheel Showdown on City Hall Plaza, Boston, and the Spooktacular Cruisin Classic. Cruisin New England with Paul Manette on Nesson showcases magnificent collections of automobiles, memorabilia, collectibles, cruise night, and car show segments. For more information, call 508-428-8055.
Vintage Auto Sales, specializing in brass era and classic automobiles from 1910 through the 1940s. Totally and partially restored vehicles, vintage motorcycles, and parts. Check out our website.
Coker Tire Company offers vintage tires for collector vehicles from the late 1890s through the mid-1970s. Call today at 1-800-251-6336 or visit online at cokertire.com. BASF, the chemical company, leading supplier of automotive custom paint finishes, featuring 12 new custom colors created by Chip Foose exclusively through BASF. Distributor information at www.basfrefinish.com.
Intercity Lines Incorporated is America's premier enclosed auto transporter with service to all 48 states. Intercities features 53-foot air ride trailers equipped with lift gates for level loading of all vehicles. Intercity's drivers are the most experienced in the auto transport business and treat each car as if it was their own. Intercity provides transport services for car owners, auto manufacturers, dealers, museums, auto auctions, concours, and racing events. Call us toll-free or visit our website. We're back at the Bahre Collection in Western Maine, one of the premier collections in the U.S. Jeff Orwick is the curator of this pristine car collection.
In 7th grade, I started working in a local restoration shop in central Pennsylvania, where I grew up. And that's all I ever wanted to do. To think I could actually get paid money to be around old cars all day just seemed hard to fathom, and I never wanted to let go of that. So I just never strayed very far, even though I had opportunities to do so. And one day, a position opened up here. I was in the right place at the right time, unconnected to anything too significant that would prevent me from coming here, and here I am.
This Mercedes 770K was originally built for a Nazi military commander in Norway. As Norway was liberated, this car was liberated too. At the end of the war, it was given to the King of Norway and used as a parade car for nearly 20 years.
And the car remains with slightly over 9,000 original miles, original paint, upholstery, plating, and everything. It's truly an extraordinary time capsule. Well, the 770 Mercedes is an enormous machine that the Nazis designed for just the special few. Hitler chose the owner of each 770. The trunk is equipped with a whole bunch of factory-equipped suitcases with tire chains, first aid kit, electrical kit, and so forth. There is a nice gas lid here. They even came with their own tool in order to tighten up the gas cap. These are all rather extraordinary features for any car. The back seat of the Touring wagon, which is the body style of this car, has 3 central fold-down seats, footrests, a giant back seat with a fold-down armrest. In these corners here were, sadly enough, pistol pouches, a place that a pistol could go in there, so anyone walking in the car could reach right in there and grab the gun. Again, sad, but that is the reality of it. In the front seat, it has a fascinating feature. Every open 770K Mercedes had a fold-up front passenger seat, so that if Hitler was ever near this car and needed to use it, he could stand on this raised pedestal with the top down and stand up and look more commanding in size than he actually was. So every open 770 had this extra raised pedestal for his purpose.
Built a decade earlier in 1931, this Mercedes-Benz SSK was the fastest production car in the world at the time. Only 38 SSKs were ever built.
Never been restored. There are only 13 remaining SSKs left in the world of the original 36 built. So this is an unrestored, factory-bodied, what they call the Sport 2. What made the SSK extraordinary was it was an SS Mercedes that was shortened. The K stands for KURZ, which is German for short. So you're sitting practically on top of the rear end, and this small little car with 2 rear-mounted spares has a giant 7-liter supercharged 6-cylinder engine in it. And these were pretty much the fastest production car in the world in 1931, and were pretty much unstoppable in Grand Prix racing around the world.
So Jeff, why is this a must-see engine?
Well, it's a 7.020-liter 6-cylinder engine that is supercharged, so that every time you floor the accelerator, whether you're doing 2 miles an hour or 75 miles an hour, it's flooring the accelerator that engages the supercharger. When you engage the supercharger, it closes off the fuel supply. This little compressor pressurizes this, so while the paddles are force-feeding air into the carburetors, this little compressor is force-feeding fuel into the carburetors, giving it that extra punch.
If you travel through Western Maine, you'll find lots of collectors of classic and vintage cars, like Glenn Davis, inn-owner and regional board member of the Classic Car Club of America.
So Glenn, I understand there's a lot of notable people up here that actually own classic automobiles.
Right, there are, of course, Bob Baer's collection we mentioned, but there are some restoration shops that are really fantastic. Classic Car Services is an old-timer here, Jack Greenleaf, who has restored cars and have many Pebble Beach cars here for a long time. He does a beautiful job. So people bring their cars from far away overseas to have them done here, and so you'll see those on the byways here also at certain times during the year.
When we come back, we'll visit with Glenn and visit a gas station that doesn't pump gas.
Welcome to the Town Fair Tire Recognition Award Series. Each week we're going to be giving away an award to recognize a classic car owner throughout New England. I'm here with Jim Giuliano. He's the Vice President of Marketing and Advertising for Town Fair Tire.
Paul, Town Fair Tire is a proud sponsor of the Recognition Award Series. At the end of the series, we're going to have a Town Fair Tire Choice Award winner for the $500 gift certificate.
It's going to be very exciting.
Jim, I want to introduce you to Dave Daggett. He owns this 2008 replica.
Dave, it's an awesome looking car here. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's a Factory 5 Mark III Roadster. The color's tangerine with black stripes, and it has a supercharged 302 under the hood.
It's an awesome looking car. On behalf of Town Fair Tire and Cruisin New England magazine, I'd like to present you with the award and a gift certificate from Town Fair Tire. Congratulations.
Get to Town Fair Tire. You always get free mounting, free flat repair, free tire rotation, free snow tire changeover. Drive with confidence. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Cruisin New England is back in Western Maine. If you search the back roads, you'll find some classic cars and roadside relics, like Glenn Davis and his Lincoln Continental in South Paris.
Here is one of the finest Lincolns I've ever seen. Can you tell me a little bit about the automobile?
Well, this is a 1933 Lincoln 12-cylinder, and there were only 109 of these made, and really only about 1,700 Lincolns made in the world. But there are 5 left of these, but this is the best example of this car. And
what makes the styling beautiful is the way they mount the spare tire.
Right, that was an option. Even they're paying a fortune for these cars, but that was an option, and it does kind of bring out the lines of the car.
Let's talk about the front of the automobile.
Well, this is kind of like most people probably be more familiar with a 33 and 34 Ford. So the front end is really quite like that, only it's just much larger. And this is what really delineates this car from other cars, is because the bodies were built by many of the same people, but it's the grille and the mascot. Each car, classic car, has a different mascot, which helps you to tell what kind of car it is.
Now over here we have a 1966 Chrysler convertible, and it's a beautiful automobile. Tell us about it.
Thank you. Well, this was only one of 2,500 made. That was the run then, and you don't see too many of these around, but there was a couple interesting things about this car. Number one, it was the first year for disc brakes instead of the drum, and the other thing is that it has stainless steel bumpers. Now, I'm not aware of other cars. I'm sure there must be some that have them, but I was not aware before I got the car that stainless steel bumpers were in existence. That's why they look so good,
right?
Because they're not going to rust. So
let's talk about the interior.
Yeah, this originally was a vinyl, but when it was redone, we did it in leather, which just, of course, is a little more durable and just holds up a lot better.
If you're on Route 26 in Oxford, Maine, and stop for gas at this Shell gas station, chances are you won't get served.
Hi, Jim.
Hi.
Paul Manette from Cruisin New England.
Glad to meet you.
Jim Lamb's grandfather owned a Shell gas station, so he thought a roadside museum would be a great way to pay tribute to him.
Now the question is, do any people ever really stop here and ask for gas?
Many, many, many ask for gas, oil changes, stickers, and can I fix a flat tire? Many times we've been asked to use the restroom too. I tell them they can go around the back. That's the end of that. That's a 30s gas pump that I picked up many years ago from a farmer in Gilead, Maine. We've since restored it and had a good time with it, enjoyed it a lot, lighted it. We mounted it on an island that we got in age so it looked real, right down to the nozzle, and it is aged. That's the idea of it all. Nothing you see here at this station is made to look new and shiny. This older Shell post was originally an American gas post. The sign is out of the 30s. Some of this other stuff is reproduction items. A lot of what's in the window is the real stuff that we've had over the years. Of course, we have the bell, as you've seen, and it goes along with everyone that comes in, enjoys it very much.
So Jim, on these shelves, it looks like period equipment you got up here.
Yes, it is. It's a period anywhere from the 30s right up through to the 70s. We have a lot of the inventory that would have been in a gas station. All these cans are most of them empty, of course, by now, but they have everything that you would have found in a station, displays that would have been in a station. There are toys and items that were given away at the stations. Many of these cans, it's very hard to find cans now that have all this to them. These are oil bottles that were out of wartime, and they used those instead of cans. There are oil bottles out of the 30s that had embossed Shell on them, and the case is actually a real case that went with it. The ashtrays, I have yet to find a Shell ashtray. I've tried, but there are toys, there are banks, it's a Shell radio they gave away. This one still works.
There's no charge to see the station, and if you pick the right night, you'll see hot rods and classics at their old-fashioned cruise nights.
I'll bet you a lot of photographs are taken right here in front of this building.
If you knew how many Sunday mornings I come out to see somebody sitting in front of the gas pump here with their wife out front taking a picture of them standing in front of their car. It's unbelievable.
We'll be right back with more of Cruisin' New England.
Tired of waiting for delivery of your classic car parts? You need NPD. National Parts Depot continues to be the nation's leading source for quality restoration parts and supplies for Ford Truck, Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, and Firebird. With 4 strategically located superstores, you'll find everything you need shipped to your door within 1 to 3 business days. For your free catalog, visit NPD online or call toll-free. Don't be the last guy on the block to get your ride rolling. NPD takes the frustration out of restoration.
Barrett-Jackson Auction Company is the world's greatest collector car auctions. Please visit the website at barrett-jackson.com to learn more about bidding, consigning, or attending the event.
Eggy Machine Company provides vintage domestic engine components for the nostalgic automotive enthusiast. We manufacture our pistons in Southern California with old-school craftsmanship and modern technology. Visit eggy.com. Ron's Auto Restoration and Sales, professional Corvette restorers for 25 years, specializing in early and mid-year Corvettes with mechanical and cosmetic upgrades for all years right up to the new C6. Call us at 800-524-6195 for all your Corvette needs.
Find out more about Cruisin' New England Productions, our television show, car show series, and magazine. Visit our website at www.cruisingnewengland.com.
The Lars Anderson Auto Museum in Brookline, Massachusetts is the oldest car museum in New England. Open year-round, the museum hosts lawn events, lectures, and a variety of exhibits. Visit larsanderson.org. The best mobile DJ entertainment for your next event. GaryJamesShow.com or 800-726-4216. Gary James Show from WMEX. Cruisin' New England Productions advertising and sponsorship opportunities. Cruisin' New England magazine has been updating auto enthusiasts with event information and special features for over 15 years. Cruisin' New England, the fun car show series, includes the Elite Dream Machines at Mohegan Sun, the All Wheels Nationals on Cape Cod, the Super Wheel Showdown on City Hall Plaza, Boston, and the spectacular Cruisin' Classic. Cruisin' New England with Paul Manette on Nesson showcases magnificent collections of automobiles, memorabilia, collectibles, cruise night, and car show segments. For more information, call 508-428-8055.
We're back with the Bear Collection in Western Maine. The Bear Collection has several Duesenbergs, including this 1929 J Roadster by Durham. In 1974, the car was rescued from a shack in New Jersey and treated to a ground-up restoration.
Jeff, there's a lot to this Duesenberg that you don't see when you're looking at the overall picture of the car.
Most definitely. The Duesenberg power plant is certainly an impressive sight. It's a dual overhead cam, straight 8 engine that generates 265 horsepower, which was quite extensive back in 1929. This is an earlier version with the updraft carburetor system, and this is a very early Duesenberg. The earliest Duesenbergs have a V-core radiator. The later ones, late 29, started putting a flat core radiator with shutters. So that means this car has a different radiator shell, different headlight mounts, horns, headlight bar, and everything. So it's a very early car, which makes it interesting as well. Duesenberg never built a body, so every Duesenberg has a custom body. This is a one-off body by Durham of Rosemont, PA. It's the Durham Roadster. Has a tiny little windshield, which actually is a challenge when you're behind the wheel. Between the windshield wipers, the rear view mirror, and the steering wheel, there's not a whole lot of visible glass that you can look at when you drive the car. It's a wonderful, racy, rakish, very stylish car, and it's the only one they ever built.
So Jeff, this has a rumble seat?
This does have a rumble seat. The rumble seat is right here. Steps on the other side to climb up in, and to protect the paint, it came with a nice felt-lined armrest, so when you're sitting there. Another feature this car has, which is really unusual, is there's a mounts here for a top assembly. There are 2 poles here, and there's a piece of canvas that comes over and snaps onto the convertible top bow, which provides protection from the sun for the rumble seat passengers, which is something that you rarely ever see. Another great feature of the Duesenberg is the tail light that is actually as big as some other cars' headlights are. And it actually is the tail light and license plate lamp here, a backup light in the center, and there's a stenciled word in there, stop, that lights up red as the brake light. All very advanced for 1929.
This is the last Brewster automobile ever built, and the only Brewster built on a 1940 Buick 90 limited chassis.
High-end coach-built cars on more generic, lower-end chassis from 32 through 36. Most of them were lengthened Ford V8 chassis, but a customer could say, please build one on an Oldsmobile or a Buick or some other make, and they did make several of those. This is the only Brewster built in 1940, the only one on a 90 limited chassis, and absolutely the last Brewster ever built. So it's certainly a one-of-a-kind car, costing near $18,000 when new. The hood ornament is a chrome-plated version of a similar piece that Lalique used to build in crystal that's very famous and very stunning. And we have yet to be made aware of another one of these that exists in chrome on another car. The town car body style typically means an open chauffeur's compartment and an enclosed compartment for typically the owner of the car. So this is a very plush, luxurious, high-end piece. The back seat has jump seats, room for 5, polar bear rug, and nice vanity sets up in the rear quarters, and travels a wonderful way to travel in style.
Did you ever think that they'd ever be worth the kind of money they're worth today?
No, I didn't. When I bought them, I wanted to have good cars, but I bought what I liked. You know, like I liked the Packards, and I liked the custom Packards. When I bought the custom Packards, not criticizing other people, but a lot of them were just buying the regular Packards, you know, and I always liked the custom bodies for some reason. And everything in here, I bought them because I liked them, you know.
When people hear the name Bob Bahre, they're always thinking of racing. How would you like to be remembered in the car hobby?
Well, I don't know, it's just having some decent cars and treating people decent. No matter what you do, like the racing there.